Okay, YouTube. So this Team Gamekeeper. We got Jordan here, and we're interviewing
Anthony Mosca.
All right, Anthony. So Anthony's awesome, by the way. So why are we interviewing you?
Went to YCS Long Beach, top 64. This is my first YCS top. Want to make a video of the deck I was playing. I finished 11-1 after day 2, putting me 10th in the final standings. Unfortunately, I lost in top 64 versus a good player, Cesar Gonzalez. Very, very tight match. If I would have made Dolka instead of Lagia, I would have probably beat him 2-0, but you can't really read a play like that. You don't know your opponent's hand or anything. So anyways, I'll go with the deck list. I played Rabbit, so 3 Rescue Rabbit, staple, most broken card of the deck. Then you go by the normies, triple Sabersaurs, triple Cabazools. These are a must if you want to make the dinos. After that, you get into...
Did you get any inconsistent hands because of them? Like
Actually, maybe once in the tournament I might have drawn like 2 Cabazools, but not more than that. I was pretty lucky for that. The other broken engine of the deck, the triple Turgide and Sangan.
Now we've seen some builds run Torbus, right?
Yeah, I've seen some builds play Turbus. I guess it's kind of okay. It's a cool tech if you want to put your Lagias or Dolkas back, but if you want to be really, really competitive, I would say this would probably be the most solid version.
Yeah, I mean, you go search out another tour guide or go get...
You want to go for the Leviair plays mostly with this deck.
Yeah, exactly. Or get another rabbit off.
This card I wasn't too fond about, but it's really good game 1. Triple Drakwaiba. Not much to say about this card. It's really good game 1. Game 2 and 3 I'm usually sided out. Your opponent doesn't fall for the same trick twice. And it's bad versus Mirror Match. It's not that good versus Nectars because you normally make a Xyz, which is Acid Golem or Zen Mains. He does nothing to heroes. He's just a good game 1 to fool your opponent when you catch him off guard with this with a Lance and make another Lagia.
Yeah, well, I think it was you, right, that was saying that some builds were running like the trap heavy build without Guaibas.
Yeah, there was a lot of versions playing trap heavy build without Guaiba, so one Guaiba swing, if I could get through it, it makes a Lagia, which they have to like -1 themselves. I played one random Thunder King tech to really, if I had a really slow hand and I had him, I would just summon him. He could negate Xyzes. My opponent, normally, a lot of times your opponent has to like -1 themselves to kill a Thunder King.
Yeah.
You have to go like book, summon, swing, hopefully it goes through. But overall, it's a good card. If I had a bad hand and open up with him, he would be my normal summon of the turn and maybe send it back rather than try and summon a dino, hope it stays alive, and then summon another dino next turn. I'd rather have him. Also stops Pot of Duality plays and other searching plays and gives me a little tip of what my opponent's playing.
He's kind of become like the Cyber Dragon of past formats, where in the past, they just summoned Cyber Dragon and bait out of back row. But
yeah.
Now, I mean, Thunder King's just that much more playable because of, I guess, all the pluses he could generate.
Exactly, but he's not as good this format. Maybe later on, but right now he's not that good. I played the 1 Gores. I actually only summoned it once the entire tournament, and the game I summoned it actually won me the match. Then I played Hand Traps, which is only 2 Maxi, 2 Effect Veilers. I was lucky. I played 2 windups in all of in all of the 12 rounds. I only played 2 windups. Game 1 he wind up looped me. Game 2 I opened up Maxi Veiler, and game 3 I opened up Maxi, so I never gave him the opportunity to go off. Mm-hmm. That's my monster lineup.
If you could, would you change that, or would you keep it at 2 and 2?
I would maybe cut. It would be rough, but I'd probably cut Thunder King Ryo and put in a 3rd Maxi.
Okay.
For spells, go this over quickly. I wanted to. Most of my friends play 2. I think 3 was so good.
Yeah, for sure.
I honestly, my first opinion of Dino Rabbit, I hated the deck. I always open up clumpy hands. This card saved me so many games. There's actually a lot of times in the tournament, I went through all 3 of my lances and they all did their purposes.
Well, I think the first thing you told me when you came back was Lance MVP.
Yeah, Lance was my MVP card. Killed Reaper, saved so much of my monsters. Kind of like plays with your opponent's head because they normally think you only play 2, but I loved 3 lances. Of course, the staples, almost triple MST. Pot of Avarice, Dark Hole, Mind Control, very good card. Actually was able to make a Lagia with this. My opponent went turn 1, summon Sabersaurus. I had 2 Drac-Wybas in hand, so I summoned 1 Mind Control Lagia. Heavy Storm, these are all staples. Monster Born, Book of Moon. That's my spell lineup with the 3 lances.
Look at that nice, super rare Italian Book of Moon.
For some reason, I own a common Mind Control.
Yeah, like everything's super pimped out, and then common Mind Control.
We move on to the traps. Traps are nothing too fancy. 2 Solemn Warning, staple pretty much. Now that it's at 2 Torrential Tribute. I really like this card. I won one of my matches going normal summon Rescue Rabbit as Chainlink 1, Prio, and then chain Torrential as Chainlink 2, wiped out his entire ward, summoned 2 Sabersauruses, was able to push for 38 for game. I only decided to run 2 Fiendish Chain. I found 3 was too much, and with Exeasing being the new thing now, you're going to Fiendish Chain and affect monster. If you don't get rid of it next turn, he's just going to summon another monster, Exease, and you're stuck with a Fiendish Chain on the board and an unsummonable Gores. So I think 2 was perfect. And my last card of the deck, making it 41 total, was Solemn Judgment.
Okay.
Which, another card I always sided out. I don't like Solemn Judgment.
Now, would you say that because you ran 41 cards, you might have felt that you drew less into your normal monsters? I mean, well, I find that 1 card makes a difference. I mean, just playing,
It might have made the difference. When I played the plant format and I was dominating a lot of locals, I played 41 cards. And now I'm somewhat doing the same thing now, this format, and I'm playing 41. So 41 seems to be a good number for me. And it's a pretty solid deck number. You don't have to always play 40, especially when you have multiple cards in the deck that thins out the deck itself.
Yeah.
I'll go to the side deck quickly. 2 Arcana Force of Fool. A lot of people played Gallon Duo. I find with Gallon Duo you can't really go offensive, because if you're in a mirror match and you try going offensive and they hit you with a lance, you lose your Gallon Duo and your monster. As opposed to the Fool, the only weakness the Fool has is Mind Control. Yeah. And Gallon Duo has the same weakness, Mind Control. He could exceed to level 3. This, the only thing he could really do is Mind Control, put it in attack mode, and you could maybe deal with it. You could maybe like Torrential when he summons, or Torrential when he flips the Fool. It's not as bad as Gallon Duo. I prefer this over Gallon Duo in my opinion. 2 Snowman Eater. I pretty much sided in Snowman Eater and Gallon Duo in the same matches. Heroes, Dinos, anything that they don't really play a lot of monster removal and they play a lot of high monster attackers. I also sided this in versus Windup. My opponents kept on ramming the rabbits into Snowman Eater, which I was super happy about because it gave me a way to get rid of rabbit. Overall, good card. Actually, Mind Control the Shark and had a Snowman Eater set, and I was able to go for game with Levier. Another really broken card, Smashing Ground. Sided in mostly versus Dark Worlds. Didn't play any, but Dark Worlds, Heroes, Mirror Match. Tech card I had in my side deck was Shield Crush. I figured I'd see a lot of Gallon Duels, a lot of Snowman Eaters, and maybe even the Fools. Spear Reaper also came in handy.
So why Shield Crush and not Nobleman?
Hits face-ups.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hits face-ups, and
it's true.
You can't really, like normally you will go like Ram and it'll be Spear Reaper and you can't get over it. So Shield Crush was always good. Played 2D Prisons, Hero matchup, Dino matchup, Macrocosmos for the Dark World matchup. I didn't go against Dark World. This was also, I sided this in versus Inzectors, and I actually round 7 went against a burn deck, that mained triple wave motion, and I flipped this on him and he lost because he wasn't able to send his wave motions to the grave. Nice. So he had 2 wave motions face up on the field. When he had them at 3 each, I flipped over Macrocosmos. He tried to shark me. I asked him, like, do you activate anything on your turn as player priority? He said no. I flipped Macrocosmos, and then he said I didn't give him enough chance for a spawn. That's once he read the text of Macro and figured out he couldn't send his wave motions. But I called the judge on it. It was too late. Judge even said it. Macro, like I said, Dark Worlds, Insectors, and for some odd chance I sided in him versus Burn just because he was playing a triple wave motion, sorry. Shadow Imprisoning, Dark Worlds, and Insectors mostly. And versus Rogue matches, the Tomb Burn decks I played versus Royal Decree. I was also had this side. This was also for heroes, and apparently there was supposed to be a secret deck of like high trap count rabbit, basically rescue rabbit, but with a ton of traps. So this was supposed to be for that matchup. I didn't go against it, but these did make me beat the burn decks to allow me to top. So really happy with Royal Decree. And now, well,
how many burn decks did you face?
I faced versus 2 burn decks. One burn deck almost beat me. The other burn deck, game 2, I opened up with 2 decrees. He had no chance. I heavy stormed. He chained 4 traps. On the 4th trap, I activated Royal Decree, negating everything, and then he chain burn or chain strike. That's it, chain strike.
Yeah.
Dealt me like 28 damage, but it was over from there. I set another Royal Decree. Little Gore's token. And as for the
extra.
synchro, extra deck, triple Lagia. Well, basically in my head, depending versus what matchup, this would be Rescue Rabbit number 1, Rescue Rabbit number 2, and the Guaiba swing. That would be my 3 Lagias, or if I'm against Rabbit, Mind Control, No More Summon a Dinosaur. I found it was super necessary to play 3 of these. Double level Sword Dolka. Really didn't summon him that much in the tournament. I normally summoned him when I pushed for game, because I was scared of Gores. Like I said, if I had telekinetic power and I knew Cesar Gonzalez opened up triple Maxi versus me and Gores, I would have been able to beat him and possibly beat him in top 64, but I made the right play and went for Lagia. Played 1 wind-up Zen Maester. Basically, I think it's Rivalry of Warlords or Gozen match, when they would flip one of those against me, or I forget which one it is, but the one that could only summon Ertz. So I would have summoned 2 Sabersaurs and make it to this guy, catching them by surprise. So they would think they would get a plus off me, but not really. The obvious Utopia. Super good card. Negates attacks, 2500 beater for free. If you run out of dinosaurs, which will never happen, you can make him. Or if you're against heroes, you can make him. He'll at least bait you out a few turns. Utopia Ray. Really good card if you go against dragons or heroes. This is basically 4,000 damage to them if you're under 1,000 life points, and the dragons will put you down to under 1,000. The rank 3s, 2 Leviaire. Best, almost I would say best XYZ in the deck. Gets you your rabbit back. Actually, one guy, I summoned rabbit, made 2 Sabersaurs, he bottomless, hit both of them. I was able to make 2 Leviaires within the following turns, brought all my stuff back, made a Lagia and Dolka within 2-3 turns, and that was just game from there. Acid Golem. I'm quite embarrassed I played this because I forgot its effect. One time I summoned it versus my opponent and I was still special summoning. Had no idea what his effect was. It was my first time playing him ever. One Leviathan Dragon is just a must. It's a 2,500 beater or 3,000 beater within 2 turns. You just gotta be smart when you make him. Don't want to like have no materials and you can't attack directly. The 1 Zent mains. I don't think I ever summoned him in the tournament, but you gotta play him just in case. And I played 2 Synchros, one being Armory Arm. In case my tour guide gets Effect Veiler, the next turn I have an Effect Veiler in my hand. Or if I can Monster Born or Effect Veiler army arm equip into one of my dinosaurs. They become pretty big. And the one Cataster, I decided not to play any level 8s because I play a lot of level 4s. I play 2 effect veilers, and at least Cataster could run over a lot of problems. I only had one opportunity in the entire 12 rounds to make a level 8, and even then I wouldn't even know what to choose between Stardust and Scrapdragon. So I think he was pretty generic.
Alright, so this is Anthony Mosca's Dino deck. And yeah, again, congrats on your top 64, and hopefully there's going to be many more of those coming. So
Probably will be.
Any closing remarks?
Rate, comment, subscribe. If you guys want any other deck profile videos or tips, any regional reports, just let us know. Send us inboxes so we can start making videos like that.
Any shout outs you want to give out to anyone from Long Beach?
I would like to shout out Gabriel Perez. He's the only person that beat me in Swiss, and he was playing Mystic Piper. He also made 3rd place, so congratulations to him. And I was rooting for Cesar Gonzalez. I was really hoping he was going to win, not because he beat me, because he seemed like a very nice person when I played in the top 64. I actually made a misplay versus him. I went Rescue Rabbit into 2 Cabazools, but I realized I had a Saber Source in hand, so I wanted to get 2 Saber Sources, so I didn't draw them. And he allowed me to retake back my move, so that was pretty unexpected. Really nice guy. I don't know why people are talk trash about him, but really nice person. I was hoping he was going to win, so shout out to him. Shout out to Gabriel for making 3rd place at YCS and being my only loss. And maybe if it wasn't for him beating him, I wouldn't have went down the same path of opponents I played, and I might have not got to my first top. But I'm pretty happy my first top happened to be at the biggest YCS of 4,300 players.
Alright, so thanks a lot, Anthony, and this is Team Gamekeeper. Peace, guys.